I was stoked. I didn't really know Captain Marvel, and so happy to see it. And then having a daughter, realizing how many things I have caught myself perpetuating as far
Oh,
as,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like the earliest one, I told her to quit being bossy. And a friend of mine kind of nudged me aside and said, you know, if Coco was a boy, you wouldn't even say a thing.
Yeah. That's so interesting. I wrote a book, a middle grade book, a fiction book for like 8 to 12-year-olds called Conquest, about twins at Comic-Con participating in a scavenger hunt. And the gal twin, Kat, at a couple points in the book, I had her brother calling her bossy. And I remember my editor specifically being like, no, we don't do that. We will not be doing that. We will be changing this. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so right. Absolutely. So like I goof up all the time too, but it's good that we hold each other accountable to stuff like that. Cause
We learn.
yeah, we're programmed that way, right? Like it's
Yeah.
really, it can be hard, but you got to be open to fixing it.
I want to know what you think makes a good mentor.
This is a great question. I've had wonderful mentors who are both men and women, and non-binary in the industry, actually. And for me, I think it's kind of exactly what you were saying before about adjusting your expectations in terms of the people that you're willing to reach a hand out to and help. Like no one is born knowing how to make a video game or how to make a comic. Like every single person has had someone teach them how to do that or help them. And so for me, the best mentors that I've had have been the ones who have been willing to reach out a hand and say, I see a lot of potential in you, even though I know you don't know how to do this. And I'm going to take time out of my life to teach you how to do this so that you can come up after me and then hopefully teach people after you how to do this. And so my first mentor in the industry was Patrick Weeks. They basically taught me how to write video games, and I'm super grateful for that. And I had only ever written books, like nonfiction books before that. You know, they were willing to do that. They were willing to stick their neck out to say like, no, I have a lot of faith in this person. I think, you know, with the right training, they can learn how to do this. It's about seeing that potential in someone and believing in them enough to really like put your own neck on the line. I think that's part of being a good ally too, is if you are in a position of privilege. So if you're a white person speaking up on behalf of your people of color colleagues, or if you're a straight person speaking up for your queer colleagues and not making it so that they're always the ones having to bring up the problems or make those arguments,
Right.
because they're a lot more likely to be punished for it than you are or retaliated against. So
I often think about what I call political capital and how much of it goes unspent.
yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's especially true. Like I owe a lot to Margaret Stoll, who was one of the first women game writers in the industry. She's been doing it for like 25 years. But unlike my first boss, she is forever getting me job interviews and asking me to work with her and with people that she knows and, you know, teaching me what makes a good story in video games versus in comics. And that's the kind of like mentor that I aspire to be one day, is someone who's willing to give their time and willing to risk, you know, their reputation a little bit on someone that they might not necessarily know for sure can do it, but that they see potential in.
I feel as if all these mentors are helping to perpetuate the craft.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
The art must go on.
Absolutely.